What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Vanduul time, baby. Alright. I'm excited about this one. I had an intro prepared. I decided, no, I'm not going to do all that. I just want to get into it. I want to show you guys what this mission is, how you can get through this mission, and I'm going to try to leave it as spoiler-free as possible, but it is a walkthrough, so there are going to be spoilers to at least how it works. I'll try to leave story out of it. But anyhow, so the mission, Vanduul Tech Smugglers. You're going to get this at Nyx, currently in 4.4 PTU, which I believe is Wave 1. They were talking about expanding it to other waves this weekend, but it's already Saturday night. I recorded this earlier today, so I don't know if they're going to make that or not. But either way. So you're going to take the mission, and you're going to get sent to one of these stations located in the ring at Nyx. I want to say they're called QCV stations. I could be wrong. Comment below if, let me know. Hey, that's wrong. All right. You're going to jump in. You're going to immediately get met with Vanduul fighters. Now, I'm going to tell you these fighters, they're light fighters, all of them. They fight and have thick scales as if they were heavy fighters. So just be prepared for that. I don't know if Sig bumped them up or if it's because they are Vanduuls, they want it to be a little tougher of a fight or whatever. It's fun. It works. Just be prepared for a tougher fight than you might think. All right, once you dispatch them, you're going to go ahead and call for landing. You notice it's just about like any other station. Obviously, there's some Vanduul markings on the walls. Just ambiance. It's really cool. It's something you just have to, experience for yourself. So the video in total, it took us about 2.5 hours to do this, but I'm going to cut that up into about 20 minutes, hopefully, maybe 25 minutes. This is going to be a full-on walkthrough. Like I said before, I'm going to try to keep out the call it spoilers, but the nature of a walkthrough might reveal some spoilers, so just please be prepared for that. If you don't want any of that, then I'm sorry, this is not the video for you. But with that all said, let's go ahead and talk about what to expect about this station, in particular bugs. So currently in PTU 4.4, this station has several different areas that essentially lose gravity. It puts you in a non-voluntary EVA situation. And it only lasts for maybe 10 or 15 feet at a time. And it's mostly when you come to like doorways or airlock areas, and I'll kind of point some of those out here as we go through. But just be prepared for that. Don't be jumping around or spinning around, because you will send you'll yeet yourself right out the station. In fact, one of those is coming up right here. If you'll watch, you'll see my buddy disappear, and then I just kind of float across. It's those type of airlock situations are kind of where this is happening. But anyways, so getting into the mission, you're going to get in here. You're immediately going to recognize this place. At least I would think so. This is the Ghost Arena, just with a paint job. You have Cargo Deck A, Cargo Deck B to the right, and then to the right of Cargo Deck B, or behind where we came from, is a warehouse. And then where the vault would be is where we actually came up. And you saw that Vanduul drop pod, or I don't know if you call it a drop pod, that centerpiece there. It's essentially a drill. It's a breacher, I guess you could say. I don't know what the official name is. If you know, throw it in the comments, please. But anyways, you're going to get met with a lot of hostiles in here, NPCs. They're going to go into lockdown. You can hear the alarm going off, see the red lights flashing, and to turn that off, you got to do a little bit of searching. We wanted to go ahead and try to get all these NPCs out of here. I'm telling you, these guys hit like bricks. I think the shotgun guy up there takes me out in one shot in just a second here. So my buddy pushed up. I went to go check left, and yep, I got blapped. Just that quick. Done. But anyways, work your way through here. Like I said, this was our first time doing this, so I'm trying to show you where to go. but cut out the fat. Excuse me, I'm getting over a sinus thing. All right, so you're going to jump across, go to the second, where the second level entry would be in Ghost Arena, hook a right, go down this way, follow that sign to maintenance. If you see, I just had another EVA situation right there at that airlock. Come in here, throw the switch. That deactivates the lockdown, and you can get in the security office. I thought this zone was just, it was well done in my opinion. Yeah, sure, it's Ghost Arena, it's a reused asset, but I don't know, it's just, I thought it was well done. So you're going to clear this security office out. This is where the mini boss is, if you want to call him a mini boss. He's right in that area there. I believe my buddy just took him out. You see where it says retrieve? Yeah, that was him. Now, he's got a full set of the new armor. So if you're looking for that, it's right there. You can steal the whole set right off of him. But he's going to have a Tiger Claw, a modified Tiger Claw. It's got a different coat of paint on it. You're going to take that, activate this keypad or computer, and you're going to throw the Tiger Claw in when it prompts. And you're going to do this a total of 5 times. So you got to have 5 different decryption keys. So you get the first one right there from him. Go ahead and hit it. It'll go green. And I don't know how the programming works behind this, but it tracks very well. So you'll leave this area. You can leave this area for an hour. And when you come back, it will essentially pick up where you left off. It'll somehow, it says it reads your Moby glass or whatever. Anyhow, you saw that comp board, and what those do here, they're unprogrammed. So you have to take them. You see how it says no code detected? You put them in these server racks, and it will, start to, I don't know, code or decrypt or encrypt, whatever it's doing, a portion. And you got to do this 3 separate times at 3 different server racks. And after the first one there, I don't know if you saw it, it says it's 33% complete. So, apparently there's a chance that the boom cannon will spawn there, but both times we did it, we didn't see it in there. We did ultimately find one, but not there. All right, so we're going to go to cargo deck A first. Watch out for this involuntary EVA section that's about to happen right here. See, I just kind of floated across there. All right, NPCs are going to be in here, so be ready for that. At least they should be. They'll be left, they'll be front, they'll be right, they'll be everywhere. The big room on the right, this is essentially like any other cargo deck. They've limited where you can go. The big room on the right does have a second story, so be ready for that. And there are miniguns in there, so be ready for those too. I don't know what that strange graphic was, but we were looking around to see if there was a mini boss or whatever. And there you can see that minigun going to town. You see that right there? I mean, you see how fast, man. You got to be careful. These NPCs are dead on. He was down, so I was trying to get him. Once we get through this first cargo area, I'm going to skip out a bit of the next one because it's the same thing. There's a couple things in here I want to show you. Not my bad shooting. Ignore that. All right, so we actually died. So we had to regroup. But back in the same room, heading upstairs. And this is where you're going to progress to the next portion. As you can see, the mission has changed in the upper right. So we have to search the auxiliary station, which that's important. That's going to go away in a little bit. I don't know why. At least for our mission, it just disappeared. We didn't even know it was a thing. We have to search a Polaris, and we have to decrypt 4 more of the 5 total data cards. So if you saw right there, there were more comp boards, unprogrammed comp boards laying there. So there are any number of, well, there is a finite number, 5, 6, 7 comp boards in this entire area that you can take. And you can program all of them. So, and we tested this. We went back and we used one of these comp boards to get into the final loot room and skip everything else, and it works. So when you do this mission for the first time, if you program 8 or 10 of these comp boards, you can go straight to the vault another, 7, 8, 9 times after your first visit. SIG will probably patch that at some point. Maybe not. I don't know. But there's a lot of blank comp boards laying around that you can program. All right, so I think at this point we had the room fairly clear. You'll notice all these pods in the center. Those are actual cryopods that have Vanduul in them. And we learned this after the fact. That's a whole separate mission. You can turn in 5 of those for, I believe it's 109,000 AUEC. And it's either you turn them in at the Pyro Gateway, at Levski, or at, what's currently the Stanton Gateway, but it's, at some point in a later date, it's going to be the whatever gateway it's supposed to be. I don't know, you guys throw the name of that system in the comments. The Cetra Gateway, I don't know. I'm probably way off. But anyhow, just running around, exploring, see what else was here. So make sure you take some of those cryo containers, chuck them in the elevators. Take them with you. Send it down here, and then you can pull it up at your hangar when you get done. All right, so that's going to be it for Cargo Room A. There's not a server rack in here that you need to mess with. You just get the decryptor key, or AKA Tiger Claw, off of that marked guy that was upstairs in the back of the room. All right, so now we're going to speed up, and we're going to go into Cargo Facility B. You get there, leave here, go back to the, quote-unquote ghost arena, hook a left, go that way, you'll go into Cargo Room B. All right, so before we go there, though, I wanted to make sure I expanded on, so you see, take that left, there's Cargo Deck B. But I wanted to expand on these decryption keys and these comp boards. So we picked up the second decryption key, or the decrypt data portion of the mission that you see on the top right there. And we came back here, and what you want to do, you can do this at any time during the mission, but we were doing it as we picked them up. So 105, 205, 305, so on. But you can just save them all until the end. Anyways, get number 2 in there. It'll go green. And you see I've got 3 comp boards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure they're all programmed up to 33%. Because one server rack will only program them a third of the way, or 33%, which is, 33.33333. So take all those empties, program them. Take them with you. I love how that ammo looks like a children's flotation device. It's pretty ridiculous. was having a bit of a backpack bug there. All right, so into cargo room B. I believe this one has the same non-voluntary EVA moment, which will happen right about here. There it is. So just be aware of that, at least in the current PTU build. All right, so down to cargo B we go. So this is going to be much the same of what you just saw in cargo A. It's the same layout. It's the same NPC type layout. There's an added room here straight ahead's that security room, but there's a couple of loot boxes in there, but nothing that's, you know, part of the mission or anything. And I know I've said it once or twice already, but these NPCs hit like absolute Mack trucks. I mean, 200 meters away with birdshot in a shotgun, and they're going to lay you on your butt every time. All right, so as you can see, more cryopods in here. Highly recommend take those with you. Like I said, you can turn 5 of those in for 109,000 EUC later on, and those are instantly repeatable. So I think we ended up taking a total of 20 of the cryopods when it was all said and done. So, I mean, you know, you can essentially make another, what, 400 and, I don't know, whatever, 430,000, whatever the maths to. But same thing. So you're going to clear out the NPCs. Eventually, the main NPC is either going to spawn or he's already going to be in the room somewhere. And as soon as you drop him, there you go. See, as soon as you drop him, you'll get the notification to go pick up the intel. And as soon as you loot him, you're going to get an intel download, and then you actually take the tiger claw off of his body, which tiger claw, aka decryption key. And then, you need some meds, you need some ammo. There you go. All right, so one other thing about these cargo rooms. There are some components in these rooms. Nothing spectacular. There was a Forelli Cascade, which is a size 1, grade B, I believe. Awesome for free parts, but these aren't grade A components. At the end of this mission, the final warehouse is where all those grade A components are, which you have to have the comp board fully programmed to get into, which is why I was telling you, take all these empty comp boards and program them along the way. You'll have 5, 6, 8, 10 extra keys to go back to this warehouse whenever you want. Now, if SIG patches that, if that's not intended, I don't know. But as of right now, that's how it works. All right, we had some respawns. We did some looking around, just trying to see what we could loot. There are random loot boxes around. All the orange boxes, the same style boxes that are in Site B for the Corbell gear and all that. They have all the new armor for this area in Nyx, which is the set that I had on previously with the Vanduul bone face. I can't remember what the name of the armor is. If you guys throw it in the comments, or I'll throw it in the comments later. But yeah, all right, so we'll go ahead and speed this up a little bit. So the next objective is to get into the Polaris. And I realize at this point, I've already hit 20 minutes. I'm not going to make that 25 minutes, so I'm going to try to speed this up as best I can, keeping relevant information in here. All right, so for the Polaris, to get here, take a ship. It's at a docking collar. You cannot get to the docking collar from an elevator. The opposite docking collar is wide open. We didn't open that, so that's the way you're supposed to get in there. I say take a ship because, yeah, you can go to a pad and float out there, but you're not going to be able to get back in the station because currently in this PTU build, the pad elevator doesn't work. It's one of those involuntary EVA zones. So you float inside the elevator and it just leaves you behind. Anyways, so this is a standard Polaris. Does have some nifty audio visuals going on with the flashing red lights, call it battle stations. NPCs all over this thing. It's very linear. You can see doors are locked. Like they shove you through, one particular path they want you to take to get through this thing. So you're just going to blow through it. You're going to clear all the NPCs out. You do want to be careful of the backside of engineering here. I don't know if it's I want to say it's the gravity device. You'll see here when I turn the corner. Oh, there was a shield generator there. Yeah, you see that gravity device was just open, and if you look, I got hurt just walking by. So it will slowly kill you. You can see engineering's a bit messed up. A couple of guys, I was just trying to see if I could shoot them through the glass. And then come around this way, and I believe this door was locked. It was. So you enter the hangar from the rearmost entrance, and there's going to be NPCs all over the place in here. Right there to the left, I'll wait for it. So to the left, you see the second server rack. That's where you're going to get your boards up to 66% coated. So make sure you clear this room out, throw all your boards in there to get them, 2 out of 3. Or at least, 66% coated. And then just finish off the Polaris, go to the bridge. You're going to find the mini boss in the bridge. Same situation. Loot him. You're going to get a download immediately. And then you also need to make sure you take the decryption key, aka Tiger Claw, off of his body. At this point, you will have 4 out of 5. The 5th one, you're going to have to go to the auxiliary area. Now, if you notice in our mission up the top right, it no longer says visit the auxiliary facility. So we weren't even tracking that. We went back and watched this video before I chopped it up. And we saw that, oh, hey, we missed that. Like, it just got deleted. So anyways, if that happens to you, you can still go there. And I'm going to show you where it's at. All right, so as you're staring at the Polaris there, turn left. See that pylon sticking out? Reminds you of an executive hangar. Head straight to that. That's the auxiliary area. It's about 11 clicks away from the main station or the I can't talk tonight. The Polaris. All right, so to get in here, again, I know this video is already running long. To get in here, you need an access key card. As you approach, you're going to see in real time our mission gets updated. All right, and there you go. Boom. Find QV airlock access card. And it populates, I believe it was 3 different locations in the immediate area. They're just wrecks. Go salvage them. There are containers, and there are also dead people floating around. Our key card happened to be at, I believe it was A, and it was on the body of one of the guys just floating around. So once you grab it, right back you go. All right, so my buddy Brick here was the one that actually found it. We went to a different area and didn't have any luck. But once this door opens, it stays open for at least a decent amount of time. We were probably in here 20 minutes, and it stayed open the whole time. So we didn't have to worry about, it closing or keeping somebody in here or whatever. So this area, it reminds me of the red keycard stations. It's not laid out the same, but it's kind of what it reminds. And that right there is just cool. That's one of those Vanduul, boarding party, I don't know what you call them, drills. I don't know, breaching units. But you got to get in there. That guy hanging on the wall, you got to get to him. That's where your 5th decryption device is. Long story short, the key code is broken. And I'll show you where to get that code right now. Before I do that, we had a mishap. See my buddy fixing that pipe? Well, you know, happy-go-lucky me, walked right under it, got instantly killed. Not even unconscious, insta-dead. I don't know what temperature that pipe is. You can't do it. I mean, you can run through it. You may not die, but just be aware of that. Have a multi-tool to be able to patch that up. But anyhow, so where's the key code? It's here in the bar. You'll notice there's a laptop right there behind the bar. You're going to access that laptop, and then on that laptop, the very last email talks about security code or security access or door access, or whatever it is. Just the code's in there. It's on the last email. Ours happened to be 8999. If it works for you, awesome. But once you get in there, you're going to get to that guy hanging on the ceiling, or on the wall, get your 5th decryption key, and then the 3rd server rack is in here. So take all those boards you've been keeping with you, throw them in that server, and get them to 100%. And after that, you are ready to go to the warehouse. All right, so returning back to the main building, FYI, if you spent too much time away, the lockdown will recommence. I don't know if that's intended. All you got to do, go back to the 2nd floor, pull that breaker again. It'll stop the lockdown. And then you'll have to, you know, dispatch all the NPCs all over again. But you're not going to lose progress. So we had our last 2 decryption keys. Went ahead, put them in here. Our boards are at 100%. And we are ready for the warehouse as soon as we put those last 2 decryption keys in. All right, so we're at the warehouse. Remember, cargo center A, left as you come in. It's to the left. B's dead ahead. Warehouse to the right. So take that 100% board or 100% coded board, throw it in there, give it a second to do its beep boops. Elevator door is going to open. If you're in a large group, use your proper elevator etiquette. Don't yeet your friends into space. Remember that. That's the best advice I could ever give anybody. Anyways, you'll see it was called Cargo Center C, but warehouse is what it was called on various labels throughout the building. When you get in here, I don't think we actually had NPCs. I think this was just a loot room. So you're going to find grade A stuff in here. We had a JS400, XL1. That was a full block. Our second, so let me preface that. Remember how I've been telling you, get a bunch of copies of these boards when you do this mission the first time? Well, we went back and tested that theory, and you can go to any other OVC or OCV facility and use your board to get straight to the warehouse and bypass all the rest of it. So again, I don't know if that's intended. If it is, great. If not, I'm sure Sig will patch it. So what is this room? Well, you get more cryopods, as you can see, laying on the floor. This is where your grade A components are going to be, much the same in the way the executive hangar works. I think I covered this already. We got a JS500, we got a TS2, we got on our second one, we got FR76s, which I haven't seen those in the wild yet. Obviously, you can get them from other ships, but as far as having the component in a vault or a warehouse in this case, hadn't seen that before, so that's cool. There are size 3 shields in here, so the hope is that FR86s will also be in here. We haven't seen one yet, but the fact that those size 3 shields are in this room, awesome. I just showed you where the ammo for the boom cannon was. Is it the right term? Boom cannon? Whatever, it doesn't matter. The second hangar, or the second warehouse, I should say, the second warehouse that we did, the boom cannon was in that rack, so we were able to secure one. Pretty fun weapon. It's just a point-and-click RPG. It's fun. Does a lot of damage. Test it on your friends. Insta-kill them in one shot. It's great. Just don't yeet them out of the elevator. But you can kill them with a boom cannon. That is acceptable. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope the walkthrough was sufficient. I did go about 5 minutes long here, so I do apologize for that. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. If you can, please like the video. It really helps, you know, a small channel like mine. And I really appreciate it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys around the verse.